Hi, second graders. Today we are working on Skills Unit 5, Lesson number 13. Our learning targets for today. I can read words with the schwa and ol spellings. We're going to learn a couple new ones. I can read different types of two-syllable words. We're going to talk more about long and short vowels. I can ask and answer questions about key details from the story, The Letter, which is our next story in our Sir Gus Reader. We're going to talk a little bit more about the schwa sound and the combination of spellings that we've learned so far. Remember, this upside down E represents the schwa sound. I want you to make the schwa sound for me. Good. It's right? We had those spelling spoilers that said all the time. So we have and ul make the sound ol. But there's three different ways that we can spell the sound ul. We've learned AL, IL, and UL, and they all represent the ul sound. We're going to learn two more ways to spell the ul sound today. The first spelling that we'll talk about is the EL spelling. And EL can make the ul sound, like in the word travel. I want you to say the word travel. Let's read these words that use EL to make the ul sound, which is our schwa and ul together. Repeat the words after me. Level, model, tunnel, channel, camel. Good. All of those use EL to say ul. Our second spelling that I wanted to introduce to you today also makes the ul sound. That's our schwa plus ul. But this spelling is LE, opposite of our EL that we just talked about. So this one is LE. For example, in the word apple. Apple ends with an ul sound, but it's spelled LE. Repeat these words that use LE to make the schwa sound after me. Middle, simple, uncle, cattle, little. Good. All these words use LE to make the schwa plus ul sound, which sounds like ul. We're going to practice reading two-syllable words with some spellings that we talked about in our last lesson. So for now, what I want you to do is just repeat the word after me, and then we're going to break down some of them and talk about why we chunk them into syllables this way. Remember, we won't normally have this dot in between, but this is to help us chunk into syllables. This word says discuss. Say the word discuss. Magnet. Make sure you're repeating these after me. Witness. Signal. Ooh, there's an ul. Dentist. Fantastic. Good, this is three syllables. Each syllable in all of those words ends with a consonant. So the syllables follow what we call the CVC pattern. CVC stands for we have a consonant, and then a vowel, and then a consonant. The vowel sound in these syllables is a short vowel sound because the syllable ends in a consonant. For example, this A is a short A because my syllable ends in a consonant. Let's look at this one. This is a short E because my first syllable ends in a consonant. Good. Let's look at these ones. Just repeat them after me for now, and then we'll break them down. Lady. Open. Hotel. Tiny. Reply. Unite. The first syllable in those words that we just read end with a vowel sound. Because they end with a vowel sound, they represent a long vowel sound. Okay? We're going to reread the same words on the next slides, but I want you to emphasize the long vowel sound. For example, we know this word says lady, but we are going to overemphasize the pink vowel that's going to be a long vowel sound. So it will sound like this. Lady. Your turn. Good. Open. Good. Hotel. Tiny. Reply. Unite. Good. So you've actually been practicing reading words with these syllable patterns for quite a few months. So I know that you're familiar with those words, but I wanted to bring your attention back to why it's the short vowel versus why it's the long vowel, depending on what the end of that syllable, whether it ends in a vowel or a consonant. So we're going to read some of our ul words that will go on our schwa plus l spelling tree. Repeat the word after me. Middle, uncle, bubble, jungle, little, table, simple, trouble. Very good. All of these leaves use the LE to make the ul sound. That's our schwa plus L. So this is Chunky Monkey over here. When you're chunking your syllables with a word that ends in LE, the preceding consonant and LE are separate syllables, which means the consonant that comes before the LE belongs to one syllable, and the consonant, if there's another consonant next to LE, belongs with the LE. We're going to practice chunking these so you can see what I'm talking about. So this word says single. Now, where we live, most people say single, but if you slow down and pronounce the word, if you pronounce it and enunciate it, it's single, single. Handle. Good, so the D goes with the LE at the end, and this is a short A because this ends in a consonant. Gamble. Temple. Twinkle. Stable. This one doesn't really follow it. Stable. Cradle. Idle. Able. Needle. We're going to read those words again. Notice in the first 5 words, the first syllable has a CVC pattern with the short vowel sound. In the last 5, they end in a long syllable. Let's see. Single, short vowel. Handle, short vowel. Gamble, short vowel. Temple, that's a short E. Twinkle, a short I. Notice we're switching colors. Now we're in purple. This is no longer a short A. It's going to make the long A sound because it comes at the end of my syllable. This says stable. Cradle. Notice this is the long A sound at the end of my syllable. Idle. Long I. Able. A long A. Needle makes the long E sound with our EE spelling. Excellent. So that's a refresher on how we can chunk out syllables and why sometimes they're short vowel sounds and why sometimes they're long vowel sounds. In the last story that we read, called The King's Ghost, something kind of tricky happened, and Sir Gus ended up kind of saving the day again, even though I don't believe that he meant to. We have found that Sir Gus ends up being very lucky. We know that he's not as brave as everybody thinks he is, though. So on this slide, we have a summary. Now, a summary is not the same as a retelling. When you retell a story, you retell all the parts. But a summary gives us a general overview of what happened. So, pause the video on this slide and read the summary. And I'll read it out loud to you as well. The king and his knights went out to sea and were approached by pirates. The pirates told the knights they had to give up the king and the boat. Sir Gus made scary-sounding noises because Sir Gus was seasick, and Sir Tom told the pirates the sounds were from the boat's ghost. The pirates were scared of the ghost, and they went away. King Alfred wanted to reward Sir Gus as he thought he was clever and brave for pretending to be a ghost, but Sir Gus was really just seasick. So you're going to come to this word in the story today that says bridge. The D-G-E makes the J sound. We can also find that spelling in words like judge and fudge. Some spellings that you will come across in today's reading, you're going to read independently. We have the letter Y making the E sound, story, utterly, assembly. We have our O words, schwa, L. We have peaceful, several, arrival, traveled, and noble. We have our schwa sound spelled with A, cross, assembly, apologize. And then we have an sound spelled with an O, the word from. So our vocabulary for today's story, our first word is summoned. If you are summoned, it means that you're called to do something. Number 2, dazed. If you're dazed, it means you're confused. Number 3 is a llama. A llama is a four-legged animal that's related to a camel. Number 4, astonished, means you are completely surprised. And number 5 is fearsome, which means causing fear or dread. Now we read about the fearsome beast. So you are going to be reading today's story to find out what news is delivered to King Alfred in the letter. You'll read this independently in your Google form. On your Google form, you're going to practice some more sounds with the schwa plus L spelling. Remember, we know A-L, I-L, E-L, U-L, and L-E. We learned that one today. And you're going to take a look at the letter as well. Nice job on the skills lesson today. I know it was a lot looking at chunking those syllables and the short and long vowels, but nice work, and make sure you ask questions if you need help. See you tomorrow.